Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. So this is going to be a little different, not really a coloring video. However, if you like anime or video games or there's all kinds of different stuff in here. Just basically uh, nerdy kind of stuff. You might enjoy this. I did post some of the pictures of this vacation on Instagram, so you may have seen some of those. But my brother and I traveled again this year. I believe this was our seventh year to Too Many Games, which is a video game convention outside of Philadelphia. And this year we included a side quest to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is home of the Mothman. And this year I ended up buying a bunch of stuff because there was a lot of cool things. There was a lot of cool things at Point Pleasant and at Too Many Games, and so I thought I would share some pictures, talk about some of the panels we went to. I'm gonna have links wherever possible, talk about the awesome people we met in Point Pleasant, and then at the end I'm gonna show a haul of the different. I got pins, I got posters, I got plushies. And I got t-shirts. So I figured I'd show you guys those just for fun. If this isn't really your thing, I completely understand. However, I know I have some friends that especially wanted to see what all I picked up since I only shared a little bit of it online. And so here you're seeing a picture of my brother and I. My brother's actually 12 years younger than me, but we both share very similar hobbies, and except he doesn't color, but we both love video games and we love anime and things like that. So this is a fun way for me and him to spend time together each year, and we just take a week to go on this trip and hang out, catch up with each other, and yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. Also meant to add, if you don't want to see all the pictures or just want to jump to like the actual haul items, I'll have jump links in the description so that you can do that. So this year, like last year, we drove, but this year, instead of driving the whole way on the first day, we drove probably about 5-6 hours and stopped in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which, if you know, is home of the Mothman, where Mothman was supposedly first sighted, and where the Silver Bridge collapse happened. And last year we realized that that was just an hour out of the way off the interstate. And so we thought, we should go check that out one year, because my brother and I we like historic stuff. We like weird stuff. we have very similar. You could definitely tell we're family because we're very similar in like the neat stuff that we like to investigate and do side quests on. We're usually up for anything on these trips. So this year we drove out there, which was very interesting. West Virginia is a very beautiful state. There was, I think, pretty much the whole time we were off the interstate on the way to Point Pleasant, we were driving alongside, it might have been the Ohio River. I can't be 100% sure. That may not be right. Don't quote me on that. But it was a big river, and some really neat views, and just good, like, just mountains everywhere and hills everywhere, which I pretty much guessing is about 90% of what West Virginia contains, which, if the Mothman was going to hide anywhere, it seems like a good spot. But the drive was pretty good getting there, and it's a pretty small town. We were actually on the opposite side, and it's a place where two different rivers meet. It's the Ohio and Kanawha rivers, if I read that right. So really cool. We stopped there, and their downtown is really neat. We had just a couple hours really to do everything. And so first stop was the Mothman Museum, of course. So here's my brother and I heading into the Mothman Museum, which was a very cool experience. had a lot of art and published articles, had the original accounts from those who cited Mothman. Here's me with this cool little Mothman statue. His smile is about the same as mine. A lot of articles, a lot of memorabilia from the Mothman Chronicles or Prophecies movie, starring Richard Gere, and like a lot of set pieces from that, and a lot of information on the Silver Bridge collapse, which happened around the same time. If you want more information, you can watch my Mothman color and chat, cryptid color and chat that I did prior to this, where we did a very colorful version of Mothman. And interesting side note on that, this is actually where the concept of the Men in Black kind of originated as well. So, little factoid for you, I guess, for anybody that wants to be on Jeopardy at some point in the future. Also got to check out the metal Mothman statue in town, which, by the way, has a oddly detailed rear end, and we found some people had stuffed some dollar bills in there, which was a fun little addition, and I was tempted to share a picture of that here, but I'm not going to do that to you. We also, like I said, the people in Point Pleasant were amazing. I loved the vibe of the people in the different stores we went to. We checked out, there's a Point Pleasant Trading Company, which does have a neon golf, like Mothman mini golf, that we sadly did not get to visit this time, next time. And we found all kinds of cool stuff in there. They were super nice. Brown's Corner, which was a great comic and collectible shop that had really awesomely priced stuff. I'm actually going to link all these shops on the description below, because I believe you can purchase online as well, if you want your own slice of Mothman memorabilia. And then they had this is one of the murals they had, but they had this really neat set of murals that were put on this wall alongside the riverfront park area that was really cool. And yeah, by then it was super humid, and it was like 5, 6 o'clock. We've been driving all day, and we're like, yeah, we're ready. We've gotten our quick little visit. Of course, we definitely want to go back, and so we figured we'd just chill in the hotel room for the night, because we knew we had our long day to drive for the next day. The next day was a full day of driving. We hit up Ohio, West Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. I think saw some really beautiful views of the mountains. Maryland in particular, I think, is one of the prettiest states to drive through. You see sights like this all the way through, and it's just really nice. But we got there towards the end of the day, got our tickets for the convention picked up, and checked into our hotel. This year we went with True by Hilton. And as you can see, the rooms look nice. It's a little more supposed to be trendy, updated type of hotel. I think we missed our suite that we normally get, but they were closed for renovations this year. That was actually Homewood Suites by Hilton as well. And but like the thing in that room that just drove us crazy is, the fridge was teeny tiny. We bring a lot of food with us, so we don't have to eat out as much. And so we were very limited in our fridge space, and we didn't have a microwave in the room. And like, if we'd had those two things, like honestly, I wouldn't mind getting this room every year. Like it was just fine. Other than that, we don't necessarily need a suite. A kitchenette would be nice. So next year, I think we're finally to the point where we're familiar enough with the area. I think we're gonna like start branching out next year and see if we can find a hotel that works better for us and might be a little cheaper. And then it was convention day, and with that goes a whirlwind of panels. The first one was from the host of everythingaction.com. I think both of these guys are. I'll link it in the description. It was Zombies Ate My Pop Culture, retrospective on the history and influence of the living dead. Very interesting panel. My brother and I I am both I both enjoy zombies, but am also weirdly afraid of them. So quite an amusing panel. And one of the big takeaways I learned is that a lot of past zombie TV and books and movies happen in Pennsylvania for some strange reason. So my brother and I have talked about like different places we'd like to live in our lifetimes, and we both really like Pennsylvania, at least some parts of it. And but after hearing that, I'm not so sure because that might just be where the big zombie outbreak happens if Romero and all them are the ones in charge of this. So then there was Life as a Content Creator, which had Some Call Me Johnny and Elliot Gould. Some Call Me Johnny, both of them do game playthroughs and game reviews on YouTube. And I found that interesting, just being, I guess, a content creator myself. I guess. And so real interesting panel. Got to ask a couple questions myself, and any panel that Johnny's on is always a good panel. While we were there, we were just kind of walking around, checking things out. There, just kind of looking at the marketplace. If there were some absolute must-haves, which there were that night, we grabbed those. But we also, I saw the classic Tetris World Championships were there, which is pretty cool. That's something my husband and I like to watch each year, on when it's live on Twitch. And then we rounded out the night with Some Call Me Johnny Live, which was with the SGB group. Give me just a second. Let me find out. I can't remember what their actual name is. Shoot. Super Gaming Brothers. That's it. A group that he's part of that does playthroughs and commentary as well. Hilarious panel. Like I said, his panels are always my favorite year after year. And one of the cool things this year is that a lot of stuff was live streamed. So I'll put the link to the live streams, and like they showed different parts of the convention, and it's probably a mess. But there's one in particular I'm going to highlight tomorrow that I don't have a picture of, or for the next day of the convention. If you like D&D, you might like them. If I'm sure you've heard of them, and I was just a little late on the boat for these guys, but yeah. So that day ended, and had a pretty late night. Came in, got some DoorDash dinner, and called it good for the night because we knew Saturday was going to be the long day. Saturday, I decided to don this hilarious little hat that my brother had, and when I tell you that thing was sweaty as all get out, like it was ridiculous. Still had fun with it though. Yes, I am very goofy. The big panel today was the if you play video games, you might have heard this game. Baldur's Gate 3 voice act. It was the voice acting panel. It had Neil Newbon, Maggie Robertson, and Samantha Barrett. And real interesting panel. Neil Newbon is hilarious, and actually they all are. And weirdly, I have not played Baldur's Gate 3, but definitely want to. It's just hard to invest in games that if I take a break from, I have to basically relearn the game all over if I come back to it. So that's like one of the reasons I haven't tried to play it yet. But I have it. Just haven't had a chance to play it yet. But real interesting. My brother got a few autographs from them. I don't tend to know the voice actors as much as he does, but I'm hoping one year that'll pan out to my favor, and I'll come across a voice actor I'm more familiar with. But yeah, did that, and then it has been real interesting to see this convention grow since we started going in like 2016. It took up maybe that hall A and the hall D and E that you can see on this map here, but since then it's expanded out to like the whole convention center when it happens. And so like here you can see all kinds of neat panels and stuff for different stages. It's a real great setup, and it's one of the things I really appreciate about this convention is that each year they make it better and better. And while there are a few things here and there that, like, each year, they can't get everything perfect. Like, they have really tried to be thoughtful in how they grow that convention, and it's one of the reasons we keep coming back, because we just really appreciate that they keep adding stuff. And the price of everything's going up these days, and the ticket price did go up, I think, a year or two ago. But given all that they've added, and the fact that they've expanded and they've added so many more panels and, like, and uh, VIPs and things like that, like, it's one of those that I actually feel like the increase in price, like, you're getting more value for your ticket. So, like, I actually am, I totally get it, rather than just raising the price of the ticket and being like, well, you're just gonna have to keep making do with what we currently offer. So I do appreciate that. And speaking of money, y'all, the marketplace this year was ridiculous. Some years, like last year, I didn't find a lot I liked in the marketplace, so I bought a lot of pens. That's when I really started collecting pens. But like this year, oh my gosh, there's so many talented artists and creators and companies and this and that. And there were some things Friday night that I knew would be gone if I sat and waited. And so, like, I even started, like, this was the year of the marketplace. And it seems like each year there's some standout piece of the convention. And for this year, for me in particular, it was just, I think for my brother and me, it was marketplace, because we definitely did a lot of hauling. And it's one of the reasons why we like to drive, and probably doesn't help what we save on driving out of plane tickets. No, we do not spend that much for the equivalent of the plane tickets, but it does allow us to enjoy the marketplace a little bit more, because we had substantial savings this year. And car rentals, we actually used one of my dad's vehicles. We A cheaper hotel, things like that. Even with the side trip, we still saved quite a bit this year. So, and we did see one other panel. It was neurodivergence in gaming, and I wish I had the name of the panelists here, but they are not listed. And just real interesting session on how to make gaming games, like tabletop games, video games, more diverse for different people. And like, when you're playing online with people, being understanding and aware of the people around you, and people that may have neurodivergency, or so on. So just another real interesting panel, and that wrapped up our Saturday. Sunday, we had beaten the marketplace in the submission pretty good. So we decided to go around and check out some other things. I was feeling a little worn down by this point. We didn't really do any panels on Sunday, but I did paint my little miniature here, which was a lot of fun. And I think they're called Two Dice was the name of the company that did this. It was a free event, which I really appreciated. And nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Okay, well, we're gonna hope so. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the description. But I had a lot of fun sitting down and doing this. There was also cosplay wrestling, which I always have to stop by and get a picture of. And I don't. This was a good action shot, I suppose. I have no idea. I think one of the characters was Animal Crossing, the one that's hanging upside down. I have no idea who the other one was supposed to be, but this is always packed. So usually I stop just long enough to take a picture and then move on. Then we've got fighting game battles with the Smashadelphia group that shows up every year. And then what was really cool is they had a Dr. Mario tournament streaming on Sunday as well. And I keep saying every year that I'm going to try Dr. Mario, but then I see what they do every year and I'm just like, no, no way, Jose. And so it was Dr. MC was the one streaming that, which I thought was pretty cool. We actually did see a panel. It was a Genshin Impact with the voice actors Stephanie Beert, I think, Keith Silverstein, and I can't think of the other one. Her name was Nicole Tompkins. That was the one I was looking for. But again, really interesting panel. And then, yeah, that pretty much wrapped up our year. And we headed back the next day. It was a full day of driving the whole way back. I started getting sleepy and dozed, I think, about the time we went from Virginia into Texas. I mean, to Texas. I'm sleepy now. We went from Virginia to Tennessee. We took a different way back this year that we really liked, and we went via Knoxville and then back up towards Nashville. And we really liked that because there weren't as many interstate changes and kind of weird changes along the way. So, like, that was I think that's a route we definitely want to go each year. And if we drive all the way there one year and then stop on the way back or whatever, that's probably the main route we'll take for a straight through shot. So, yeah, that pretty much wraps up my year. I'm going to show y'all what we hauled, or what I hauled next. First up are prints. I found this at the Mothman, the trading post, the Point Pleasant trading post place. 9 lives to live, 9 lives to give. Love that. I'll try. I sadly do not remember a lot of these creators, but I got these two, which are Hayao Miyazaki references, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Princess Mononoke. Beautiful prints. I already have them framed. This one, I have to have kept her card, but she does, of course, cats as D&D players. I picked 3, but she has a whole set, and they are amazing. I have this Death Note one from Bento Blocks. Now, the cool thing about the one I just showed you in Bento Blocks is that they are carved into wood and rubber and inked onto these. Andrew Heath, which I showed a picture of earlier. We got a couple prints from him. This one for Star Trek. And then another Hayao Miyazaki, Spirited Away, for this reference. Working on getting those framed on the steps. Y'all will be proud. We've gotten a lot of the prints already hung this year. Normally they wait till the end of the year. So found this neat little metal print of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, like an old comic book cover from that Brown's Collectibles in Point Pleasant. These amazing art, this amazing art that is drawn using ballpoint pens only, and these are from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I ended up getting a set of 4 of them, but it's just colored ballpoint pens only. And it was like, at first I was like, they're a little scribbly, but like once I really started looking at them, I'm like, these are pretty incredible actually. So we picked those up. This neat Full Metal Alchemist print that goes with some previous ones, the same artist and style that I had bought last year, to give me a set of 3 of those. That's why I'm telling you, it's a complete mismatch. This is from a booth called Pond HQ, and they just had these really adorable cat prints, and y'all know if it's got a cat on it, I'm a sucker. And finally, the piece de resistance, this Mothman cuddling with kitties that I found at the Brown's Collectibles in Point Pleasant. And it is a canvas print, and the price I paid for it was, I felt criminal. Like, that Point Pleasant Trading Company, the Mothman Museum themselves, and then Brown's Collectibles, all amazing stores. Highly recommend checking them out. Had really neat stuff. If you just like Mothman stuff, if you like pins, if you like collectibles, if you like fun cryptid stuff. Point Pleasant Trading Company has quite a bit of that. And of course, for specific Mothman memorabilia, you have the Mothman Museum. So definitely recommend all of those. And t-shirts. So I am a sucker for T-Turtle, the t-shirt company, and they have the cutest shirts. And their shirts are very soft. They are a little on the thin side. I'd prefer a thicker t-shirt, but they are super soft. They always have these cute, anything cat related, of course. I love this one with the different cat astrological signs. And so I stocked up this year. Of course, we have Kitsana, Kitsune, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm a big t-shirt wearer, and my husband steals a lot of my shirts, so they get wear and tear pretty quickly on them. So, um, and you think black t-shirts in a cat filled household is asking for it, but I can't resist. Plus, Too Many Games had new mascots this year, Neko and Gato. Of course, they had to have cat related ones, and so I had to get the two t-shirts that were related to that. I also got a Too Many Games, like the logo that you saw in some of the pictures, on a t-shirt. So I think there were a couple others, but this is pretty much the gist of them. And so now for the rest of this, it's going to be a video clip where I show you guys all the pins I picked up and all the plushies that I picked up. And that will wrap it up. So if you stuck around, and of course that's coming right up, so don't go anywhere if you want to see that. But I'm going to go ahead and say thanks for watching. If you hopefully you enjoyed this, got to geek out a little bit with me. Like I just love traveling with my brother. We have a ton of fun, and this year was no different. It was much needed with just everything that's been going on, and just how tough work's been and how tough life's been. It was just really nice to get away for a few days, and I'm very, very glad that we were able to do so. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the goodies. Each year, there's usually one show or game or something that catches my attention, and I come home and tell my husband we have to watch this or play this or whatever. And last year was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which led us down that rabbit hole. This year's been Steven Universe, so if you've ever watched that, we absolutely love it. I ended up already buying the DVD box set because only 4 seasons are on Hulu. And it is so good, and I love it, and it's going to be one of those shows I watch over and over again. And it's one of those things, I'm just sad that I hadn't already found it, but I love it when we discover something new and special like that. So anyway, on to wrapping up the video, and I will be back on the weekend, back with regular coloring videos. We'll do a book and supply haul. And then we'll either do like a color and chat, or we may just do the book and supply haul this weekend, and then I'll pick up with completed pages probably the next weekend. So we'll see. Alright, on to the next clips. So this is the pins portion of my vacation haul. So I think it was last year in particular, I didn't find much in the marketplace. I was trying not to buy a lot of prints. Oh, past me. And my brother but I didn't see many prints I liked, so it was kind of easy. And my brother had suggested that I start collecting pins because that's what he does. And so I spent time looking for pins. You know, I was looking mostly for cat-related pins or anything in particular that I like. And so to show you an example of how and this of course has cat hair on it because everything in this house has cat hair on it. This is what I put them on. And I have 3 of these. And so I buy a few pins online here and there. I have a couple of them. But I think after this year, like, this is going to fill up pretty quick. So I'm going to have to combine those. But those are kind of some of the pins I got last year. And so these are the ones I will be adding to them. I wish I could remember all the different stores that I bought these pins from. But I know some of them specifically. I can tell you. if I can find the cards. So give me just a minute and let me see. Oh yeah, I did not do a good job of collecting collecting putting cards with pins this year. However, I know a couple I can specifically call out. So we'll start with these. I am fascinated with the not so fun animals that, well, a lot of people don't particularly like these animals, but I think they're cute. I like anything that references trash animals. So like your skunks, your possums, and your raccoons. I feel like possums get a really bad rap in America when they're actually pretty beneficial. Like they eat fleas and ticks and stuff, and they're actually pretty beneficial to have around your house. They're ugly as sin, but in a cute, oh you poor thing way, like bless your heart. And I picked these up. It does say Toku Arts. And then I picked up a Mothman pin at the, so these were at the actual convention. And I picked up this one with Mothman with his little bear sweater, which I just thought was adorable. And I picked these up at a store. It was called This, because I remember this was the specific, but I'm not sure if they have it. I'm going to try to look if I can find if they have a storefront or anything. I'll let you know. But the name, the Toku Arts is also on here, so it's all the same maker. So I'll see if I can find that. But anyway, I thought those were cute. There was a... Here, I have a lanyard. They gave me two because I bought so much stuff. It's called Pond HQ. Again, I'll see if I can find the links online. I will put them. But like, it's cute little lanyards with like lily pads and frogs. And they had cat and frog related stuff, which you'll see in my prints. And they had some pins. I have to take this one out because there's like a chain. So we have this little guy, which is the frog in the alien ship, picking up the cow. I really liked the chain on that. I thought that was really cute. And so I got that. Then they had this one. It says physically thick, mentally sick. And boy, if I had a pen that described me to a T, it would probably be that one. I thought I got another one from them. Hang on. I just dumped them all in a bag. Oh yeah, the cat and the frog costume. I like the incognito cats that are hiding in the costumes. So got those from that Pond HQ and some prints you'll see later on. These came from something called Cork and Charm. It says fashion for a cause. Of course, I got a couple cat and books related ones because those are ones that I really identify with. They do have a QR code. It says they donate 50% of their profits from sales to nonprofits and charities, which is pretty cool. I got, let's see, that's all Mothman stuff. I found a random Angry Beavers. I do love some 90s cartoons, and Angry Beavers is one of my favorites. So I found some of that. Sometimes I'll have a theme, sometimes it'll be random. I thought that was cute. If it's a cat pen, I'm probably gonna pick it up. And this says antidepressants, cuddle 3 times daily. I do HTML coding. That's what I started my career with in website development. And so I thought this was clever. That's Mothman. Okay, so I found Pac-Man. It's really a shame they didn't have actual Pac-Man with those. Okay, those are all... I'm trying to keep all the Mothman stuff together. That I bought at Point Pleasant. This says fun, so I put the fun in dysfunctional. It's a little rat with a knife. This one here says otter nonsense. I think I got that in Point Pleasant at the trading company. I think. I found this one, Meowcula. And along with him there should be, oh yeah, Catzilla. I think they sold out of these pins. Oh, there were a couple I picked up that were specific, like Death Note. I cannot pronounce his name of the character he is, but I picked that up. And I picked up a little chibi Levi from Attack on Titan. That was probably our big anime thing that we finally finished and watched this year. Levi's one of my favorite characters. Okay. They were out of, so this year Too Many Games had a, oh, I think there's something wrong with that charm. Maybe it's just the paper. So this year they created 2 new mascots, which are a cat and a dog. Cat and a dog. Just a cat. Oh man, there is something wrong with that one. Oh well, I guess we'll just hang it from that side. That's a shame. I wish I had seen that when I bought it. But there are 2 cats, Neko and Gato. And that's actually the names of a couple of the stages they have at the convention. And y'all, there were 2 t-shirts this year. You knew they put cats on stuff. They were out of the charms by the time I got back around to them. So I did pick up like these keychain charms. I'm going to put them like where the strings on that pin thing are. I'm going to hang them from there because they were just too cute. Okay. Now for, I believe, Mothman stuff. So I also picked up some pins when we were in Point Pleasant and some different little things. So we have 1 sticker. I need to find a way to collect stickers because I just don't know where to put them. I hate putting stickers on stuff because then something happens and I want to take them off, and like they're probably easier to get off these days than they used to be, but still I grew up like being told not to put stickers on stuff because you couldn't ever get them off. But I did get this little 8-bit Mothman I thought was cute. I also got a magnet, Mothman for President, which honestly I feel like is pretty relevant at this point. I don't think he could do any worse than, and you know, I said what I said. You want to get mad about it, get mad about it. I'm tired of it, honestly. But anyway, I feel like that's appropriate. A magnet for our fridge. And so this is the official Mothman Museum pin. They have a t-shirt too that is a specific design somebody created for them, which I thought was pretty cool. Very detailed, but also very cool. I don't get the acrylic pins very often. I usually stick to the metal ones. A little animated kind of moth girl, maybe. Very cute. I think I got those. I got those from the Mothman store. And then these came from Brown's Comics, which was a comic book store a couple doors down from the Mothman Museum. I love that place. I've got a print to show you later on that is adorable, and it was like their stuff was priced great, like, and they have an online shop, so I'm actually going to put them specifically in the comments. I had a great conversation. I think it was the mom of the people that own the shop that was working there that day. I had a really great conversation with her, and she was a ton of fun. I highly recommend, if you like weird stuff and you like people that are very, not unique, I don't know what the way to put it, colorful people that, you know, really like to chat. And I'm an introvert, and I even really enjoy talking. to these people that are just really friendly and open. Highly recommend you visit Point Pleasant, West Virginia if you're ever in the vicinity. Um, it's just fun, and like the shops were awesome. They had a lot of cool weird stuff, which we love, my brother and I. And then I got to talking to every person in the store, and like they were just so awesome to talk to, and I just love the people in the area. The vibe is just vibing. Like it's really awesome. But I found a ton of pins at the store too, like this little moth, cat moth. Y'all knew I was picking that up. Mothman believes in you. That one's a little hard to read, but I thought that was adorable. A little pride Mothman. After coloring mine, I felt like he was appropriate to pick up. This one is a little Mothman, and it says stay weird, which again I feel like is kind of the vibe of Point Pleasant. I'm digging it, you know, so love it. And then this one, live laugh lurk. I just, they were so cute. I couldn't resist it. So yeah, a lot of pins. I wanted to go ahead and show those so I can get them on the pen holders, and at least I've accomplished one thing with the things that I brought back. So we'll move on to the next part. Alright, now we're gonna throw some randomness into the mix and some stuffed animals. So like I said, I got this lanyard. Got little frogs and sunglasses hanging out on lily pads. I got that, which is pretty cool, from that Pond HQ. They had a free miniature paint and take. I am going to find the name of the company that was sponsoring it and put it in the description. They make, I think, specialty paints, particularly for miniature painting. And I took a crack at this and thought I did pretty well. The years of coloring did help me get a little it did help me in terms of painting little details, so I felt like I had some patience in regards to that. However, I did not have so much patience or eyesight that I could get like these individual little packs on her or anything like that. I would have needed a magnifying glass to do that. So this is the best I could probably do with just my regular eyesight without any sort of specialty equipment, which I thought, like I said, overall, I thought was pretty cool. She looks like she's fixing to deliver a beat down to some vampires. It could be vampires. It could be zombies. Who knows? I enjoyed this. It was relaxing. However, I don't know if I was to really get into the detail work how much I would enjoy these without needing, like I said, a magnifying glass or additional materials to be able to see that closely, and work that detailed. And Tammy from Tammy Colors too does a lot of miniature painting, and I know she has quite the setup. We do have characters to paint, and we do have some paint to try from a set, so I might give it a try with what we have already and just see it's something I want to stick to. The last thing I need is another new hobby to dump a whole bunch of money in. That's the last thing I need, but I am intrigued by this. We don't play enough tabletop games that I think we could use these for anything. They would just be for like display purposes. So I don't know though. We'll see. Alright. Stuffed animals. Yeah, I know. I It's like my brother bought all the big stuffed animals this year, bought a number, and I bought like the smaller versions. The first one was this guy. Now, he was just too cute, hand sewn, very soft fabric. I love the pattern on his stomach and his ears. It's a little different, multi-sided dice. And of course, black cat. I'm always partial to black cats anyway. He is very cute. I I have some shelves next to my bed that I put our squishables that we bought last year up, or my squishables that I bought last year on, and that's where I think this little guy is going to reside. I also have this from Turtle. It's a reversible plushie. I have a big version of it you may have seen. I can't remember if I did an official haul last year. But I have a bigger version of a cat that... Where did he go? Speaking of which, I guess I better go find him. He reverses into a rainbow cat, and the other one's like a purple cat, and he's real sad. And then I found this little fox there this year, and I couldn't resist him. So he's a happy little star fox on one side, and on the other side, kind of an angry little fox. So thought he was very cute. I'm not quite sure where he's gonna go yet. I used to have a cat that really liked stuffed animals, Oreo, and so I was very reluctant to have stuffed animals, and I had a stepson at the time who had them, and he really liked stuffed animals. He that's about as far as I'm going to describe that. He really liked wadded up comforters. Like, there's a lot of things he really loved. So for a number of years I stopped, bringing in stuffed animals, but unfortunately he has since passed away. That was Oreo, for those of you that have been around for a while. And then I think this was at the Point Pleasant Trading Company, which I'll have in the description. They actually had squishables, and they had a tiny little Mothman. I love his little feet. And the clasp is magnetic, so you can just close them up and hide them if you want. And so my brother got the bigger version, and I got the smaller version. He is super soft, very cute. Yes, I am 43 and collecting stuffed animals. There was a lady, if I can, I hope I have her card, that had crocheted animals, and I was kind of trying to rein in the spending, and I was like, TJ, my brother's name is TJ. I was like, if it's a crochet animal you want, I've got like a million of them to crochet, so I'm pretty sure I can help you out. But she had a gigantic stuffed possum, and I was just like, that is so cute. Yeah, I know, do as I say, not as I do. And I asked her about it, and she said it was like $200. And I was like, no, I don't think TJ would have probably bought him if he liked possums. But she's like, I'm making some smaller ones to put out tomorrow. And she did. And so I love his tail. His tail's the best part. But she put him out the next morning, and I of course snatched him up. I just couldn't resist. It was like I was talking about with pins. I feel bad for possums. They're ugly as sin, and I, don't personally ever want to have one, but like, I always feel bad when they get run over. If I see them out in the yard or whatever and they're eating cat food, I let them be. They're very beneficial animals. Like I said, they do really good at pest control, and yeah, they're actually very beneficial, cool animals. They're just a little ugly, but beneficial, and I know how that feels. So maybe that's what it is. I identify as a possum. I'm good for pest control. His eyes are a little wonky, but that's fine. I think that type of stuff is what makes crocheted animal special, is when you have unique little things like that. So alright, so there are my stuffed animals and randomness. I guess, what do I have left? T-shirts and prints, I think. So, oh yeah, there was this from the Point Pleasant Trading Company. It has cats and world domination, and I thought it would be good for coloring mediums, like storage. It's a zippered pocket, so this would be good storage for something. I don't know if colored pencils would fit in here. These pens seem to, with plenty of room to spare, so colored pencils might fit in here. But anyway, These are called Blue Q bags. And what's cool is they're made of 95% recycled material. So they do have that kind of shiny feel to them, but I kind of like that they're using recycled materials for those. So that is cool.